Howdy everyone, today we are reacting to 5 brutal skullcrawler executions by Mechagodzilla by Goji Center. I have been slacking on reactions, and I'm sorry for that, but whatever, let's just go.
Hidden under a clandestine facility hides the most malevolent and brutal man-made weapon of all time, Mechagodzilla. In order to truly convert this into a real killing machine, this giant robot had to go through a series of tests against live subjects with the objective of learning to wield its arsenal of weaponry with killing precision. Today, the simulation arena will be bathed in blood as we demonstrate the many ways these skullcrawlers would have been brutally murdered in order to train this metallic terror in the art of war. This episode will get bloody, so remember, if you enjoy this content, do not forget to like this video, subscribe, and get ready to witness 5 executions in Mechagodzilla's Temple of Doom. Which is kinda similar to this place, the Doom Tower, a place found in Raid, our sponsor. A really dope game available to download on both mobile. Before we discuss the first method of tearing up our first skullcrawler, let's first discuss the disturbing architecture of this facility. It's mentioned in the official art book that this location was in the shape of a pyramid, with an inverted staircase that would siphon the essence of the dead titans, and then be absorbed by Mechagodzilla. This mech would then benefit from this essence in some way or form. Whether this death energy came in the form of titan radiation or nutrient extractions is not 100% clear. But the concept of having this mech literally ingest this corpse's matter is truly terrifying.
Oh yeah.
What's up, guys? Jacob
that
here.
art
Over on
was terrifying
Dangerville,
as
we
well.
are really going in-depth discussing the dark secrets of Apex's sacrifice pit here. And we mean that literally. And a few more reasons why you would really hate being a skullcrawler or any titan other than Mechagodzilla here. This video is going to be out on Thursday, June 9th, so be ready for it. So how many are we killing today,
Oh, it's
guys?
Saturday,
Glad
June
you
18th,
asked, Jacob. Today we pre-selected a total of 5 adult skullcrawlers that are large and mature enough to take part in the following 5 executions that will test all sorts of different weapons. Now let's get ready to witness the first demonstration. Number 1.
Oh god damn it.
Oh, sorry.
No worries.
Whoops, didn't mean to
Number
pause.
1. Dismemberment. We are beginning this list with the tearing of limbs. In Godzilla vs. Kong, we witness this mech's immense forelimb strength by the way Mechagodzilla lands critical hits against the G-Man with ease, punching him repeatedly and single-handedly tossing this 99,000-ton kaiju like a ragdoll across Hong Kong. In terms of limb strength, this metallic titan would exert more strength than both Godzilla and Kong. This poor skullcrawler here won't just get ripped apart in a few moments, but also flayed in the process. By zooming into Mechagodzilla's hands, we find small buzzsaws that resemble industrial grinders. Jared Krichevsky, the creator of this mech, mentioned that these were strong enough to bite into the titan hides. This allowed it to have a much better grip against its victims. Given the strength of this mech, we can now run the test and tear this skullcrawler limb from limb. As we can see, Mechagodzilla's limbs are so strong that they could literally tear the skullcrawler's limbs straight from the sockets. Would Mechagodzilla do this? We will guess that yes, Mechagodzilla could also yank out the insides from this skullcrawler too, killing it in an instant. You may think this is overkill, but for the purposes of this simulation, we need to put these weapons to the test to be 100% sure these are effective against larger titans. Also, don't forget that during this testing phase, Mechagodzilla would have been controlled via psionic link, taking commands from a human pilot, in this case, Ren Serizawa. So even if these moves looked a little bit too human-like, it would be because there is in fact a human behind all of these tests. Number 2. Meat grinders. While we dispose of this corpse, let's introduce you to another weapon, the meat grinders. These aren't the ones on its hands, these are the grinders found inside its mouth. Yes, these here are rotating discs that when put in contact with any fleshy tissue will bite into it and turn it into ground meat. We were unfortunate to not see this in live action, but that's why we are here to show you. In this
Damn,
second
that fish
demonstration, Mechagodzilla would have this Titan stretched out in a position where it could use its mouth grinders. A good place to test it would be here. These grinders would now begin peeling the outer layer of skin, followed by the outward layers of flesh, veins, and grind right through this creature's windpipe. The blood loss would have killed this skull crawler in no time. So far, we have covered 2 melee weapons. Now let's switch gears and test some ranged weaponry. Number 3, explosive weaponry. Testing weapons such as missiles in a closed facility is risky, but note that this is no ordinary base. In the film, we see that certain areas of this facility were resistant to powerful blasts, such as the proton scream, and remained relatively intact. So it's safe to test some puny missile weapons here. Our third subject will now be eliminated at range. Let's now focus on where these missile launchers are located. We witnessed 2 locations where these were placed, the shoulder-railed missile launchers along its back, and some smaller launchers hidden on its shoulders. But that's not all. Krzyzewski also mentioned that Mechagodzilla would have had extra missile launchers hidden in its chest, making this creature well-equipped to launch a forward barrage of missile fire.
Damn.
In this scenario, the technology that will need testing would be Mechagodzilla's ability to direct and target the vulnerable areas of this skullcrawler. Once locked, this Titan's AI would then cue the missiles to strike and hit on the specified targets. In this case, the skullcrawler never stood a chance. Getting bombarded from all areas only means that it would suffer severe third-degree burns. And if it survived, Mechagodzilla would simply approach it and finish it off. Before we initialize the 4th scenario, we want to thank you guys for helping us blast through 500k subscribers.
Oh, no
so
problem,
in
man.
turn, we are now giving away not 1, but 2 SH Monster Arts Mechagodzillas
I remember
to 2
seeing a
lucky
community post
subscribers.
about this.
To qualify, you must be subscribed to Goji Center, comment on any of these videos telling us who you think would be the next villain in the next Monsterverse film, and include this word in your comment.
That's it?
Winners will be announced in 2 weeks' time. Okay, that's it.
Oh, I
And
still have time.
Good luck. Number 4,
Like 4
the
days.
Proton Scream. In Godzilla vs. Kong, we were lucky to see this weapon in action
I'll
against
have
both
to say-
Godzilla and
I'll have to say,
Skullcrawler number 10. This would have been the most powerful
Actually, I
in
don't
its
even
arsenal
know.
of weaponry, and would have taken hundreds of billions of dollars to develop such a weapon in real life.
discuss
Which
that
is why
later.
it was imperative for this weapon to go through many rounds of testing to ensure that it was effective and powerful enough to inflict damage against all kaiju. In the film, we saw that this weapon was fired through the skullcrawler's mouth, but what if instead of hitting it here, it was hit on another location? Our next demonstration will feature the next victim being held in this manner. The objective? To slice. If projected long enough, Mechagodzilla's proton scream would penetrate through the skullcrawler's skin, flesh, bones, and make its way down the skullcrawler's ribcage like a hot knife through butter. We'd like to imagine that several tests like these were conducted to continue testing weapon upgrades in Mechagodzilla's proton scream. Now that we've concluded our ranged weapon testing, let's go back to the final and most brutal of all melee weapons found in Mechagodzilla. Number 5, Tail Scythes.
Alright. Oh, god damn it.
The last weapon we are going to test today is found at the very tip of its tail. These 2 spikes can spin and split into 2 additional sides, forming a 4-bladed weapon that spins at high speeds, giving it high piercing and liquefying power. Because this mech is manned by a human, Ren Serizawa would have needed some practice getting used to using a prehensile tail, since humans
True.
are not equipped with one in real life. Learning how to use this effectively was imperative against other kaiju that could use similar weapons effectively. In this scenario, our next skullcrawler is now subjugated in this manner, and the pilot will now aim for these 2 locations. Note that once these things pierce, anything in the path of those spinning blades would have been literally liquefied, completely destroying any organ that it comes across, inflicting irrecoverable damage. Now that this tail successfully hits its target, it will now finish off this skullcrawler by accurately impaling it from its vocal orifice and turning this titan into a sack of pulp. We now have completed our first round of tests, and Mechagodzilla is 1 step closer to becoming Godzilla's nemesis. Admittedly, it was mentioned by Adam Wingard that had Godzilla not fought Kong earlier, this Titan would have had enough energy to successfully defeat this Mechagodzilla. But having said this, it was also mentioned that if a physical sample of this radioactive material was used to power this Titan, then Mechagodzilla would have also been even more powerful, unlike this reverse-engineered energy sample made by Apex. This was just a sneak peek of what could have happened inside this clandestine facility of death.
True.
What do you think would have happened if Mechagodzilla successfully killed both Kong and Godzilla at the end of this film? Do you think that there were
World
any other
domination,
kaiju
I
that would
suppose?
successfully destroy this mechanized Titan? Let us know in the comments. Please remember to hit that red subscribe button below to be the first to watch our next upcoming videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Alrighty then. So, before I end the video, I'll just have to say my prediction for who's gonna be the next MonsterVerse villain. Honestly, I don't fucking know, but I want to say Biollante. I don't know why, but I don't know. Whatever. So anyway, that'll do it for this reaction, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya, chump.